Hello everyone, and welcome to another Source Gaming discussion. I'm your host Tris, and I'm joined by both Nantenjex.
Hello.
And Kody.
Hi there.
To discuss the shadow dropped announcement for Paper Mario the Origami King.
Like, I knew Nintendo Directs weren't going to be happening. I mean, they pretty much said so themselves, I think. But it was going to be shadow dropped at some point, but I wasn't expecting it so early, I suppose. Yeah. Like, I thought maybe they'd wait till Xenoblade was out, like, just keep holding it off, but nope. Nope, got to do it now, I suppose.
Well, I guess if they waited till Xenoblade was out, though, I think the issue then would have been the fact that it is cutting into the usual E3 time, and I think that would have tempered expectations very differently.
Maybe. It's also the fact that I guess if they still wanted July release date, it'd only give them a month of hype as opposed to having 2 months of hype.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which, sure, Nintendo's definitely done before. I mean, look back at, like, what was it, Kirby Planet Robobot? I think was released. It was released like 2 months after it was announced, but
yeah,
arguably Kirby's a smaller series than a sub-series of the Mario series, so this is rather surprising.
Yes, yeah, that's very true.
And I think what's incredible about this is from the get-go, everyone's immediately reacting into, oh my god, is it like what we want, or is it like Sticker Star and Color Splash? But right off the bat, this gained so much more attention and traction than Color Splash did originally.
Oh yeah.
Because as soon as Color Splash was announced in Nintendo Direct, it never even had a proper trailer. It was just gameplay with, I think, Bill Trina talking over it. Yeah. And everyone just being disappointed and like, oh, it looks so slow. Yeah, graphically it looks nice. This is like a proper trailer. It's got people excited. You got Bowser hopping around like a unfolded book. Like this is There's a lot to unpack here.
I think they've done a much better job in revealing this one than they did with Color Splash. I think the problem was with Color Splash is it instantly looked too similar to Sticker Star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they started off with the cards and everybody just...
Right, yeah. And then this one isn't that the case. Like, this one seems to be... like I wouldn't say it looks like the old games, but it also doesn't look too much like Color Splash and Sticker Star either. So people are more optimistic.
Yeah, I honestly think it looks like almost an evolution of what the gameplay was in the older Paper Marios. And I really like that. I think the big difference for this one is the story too. They started off immediately presenting the story, and that kind of I think made everybody's expectations get a little higher for this one, because they didn't do that with the past couple Paper Mario games. It's obvious they're focusing on a lot of the things that made the old Paper Marios great.
Yeah.
I mean, the last Paper Mario game to have a proper, like, grand scale plot was Super Paper Mario.
Right.
I mean, Sticker Star, you had, oh boy, we're gonna celebrate the sticker comment, and then I think Bowser came in and made it explode. That was the story there. And then in Color Splash, your basic plot was Bowser wanted to make his shell look pretty, so he's gonna jump in the fountain. Oops, he like got possessed by the paint and has a new sense of evil, I guess. It was very wacky, silly plots, but not that this isn't a wacky, silly plot with everything being papercraft, but this trailer opens up kind of in the ominous nature of Peach just coming out, like, all quiet, and it's basically just this, well, perish aura about it.
Yeah, it goes for that dark tone really suddenly, and then drops Mario right into it. I mean, Push translated what the story is, which appears to be Peach invites Mario and Luigi to her castle, and then turns out that the whole kingdom's been captured by a guy called the Origami King, who wants to set up the Origami Kingdom. And he proceeds to imprison Mario, and Bowser's already been imprisoned, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
But thanks to the help of the Origami King's sister, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's another origami pun. I think it's something like Orambi.
I think it's Olivia. I think her name's Olivia.
Oh, Olivia.
On the official website.
It's definitely got a B in it. But yeah, with the help of her, they all managed to escape, and now Mario and Bowser have to sort of, or at least Bowser's minions have to team up and like fight back against the Origami King, which is pretty interesting. I already like the premise of forcing you to team up with Bowser and his side of things. I feel like that's not something that they've actually done since Super Mario RPG.
That is true. He's very reluctant to join you in Super Paper Mario, as is.
Yeah.
And this is already a very different way about it.
Yeah, and I feel like even in the Mario and Luigi games, like Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, you sort of team up with him, but not
he
really.
never knows he's working with you.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
I think the Superstar Saga is probably the last one since then that he actually willingly worked with them.
Yeah, but it started from the beginning. At the beginning he was already a villain.
Right.
It's only later stuff. Whereas this one seems to be that's the initial premise from the start. Because I was watching the trailer again, and it looks like Bowser's obviously folded up. It looks like he's almost been origamied.
Yeah.
and like because he's being held up by like a paperclip. And they seem to. I don't know how this works. Like, are they taking the paper characters and folding them up? Because I feel like Origami Peach is bigger than regular Paper Peach.
Yeah.
However, we see in the trailer the Origami King. I'm assuming is disguised as a yellow shy guy, because the yellow shy guy floats, then folds up into the Origami King.
Yeah.
So,
I think for some of these, especially because it can't just be folding them that like makes them evil, so to say. That's probably being merged with something folded together.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
But I have to say though, like Color Splash already looked like visually stunning for the Paper Mario games. This one-ups that even more, and it's in some areas subtle. Like the characters for the most part look about the same. But I was comparing the scene with like Luigi and his in the Mario Kart, because that was like one of the few really great scenes from Color Splash. They completely redid that, and it looks even more impressive, and it looks like it's fully crafted. I mean, Peach's castle from the beginning of the trailer looks really nice, actually.
Yeah, Toad Town in general, which I'm assuming is that initial area, looks really nice.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it might be the nicest looking Toad Town has existed. Although I think my favorite looking place is the Sniff It Arabian Nights themed desert location.
That looks so nice, and I really love.
So beautiful.
I really love that they keep bringing back like a Mario 2 kind of look for a lot of for a lot of like Shy Guy things. Like
I like that. It's
like that track in Mario
keeping
Kart.
the aesthetic. Yeah, the Mario Kart track of Shy Guy Bazaar is the one I was thinking of most, and they've just kept it for this one. And this one's like much flashier with neon lights and a music hall, and it looks like almost like a casino town in the middle of a desert.
Yeah,
it's really nice, honestly.
Yeah, although we also see another scene of them in the desert, which looks like the same desert because it's got purple sand, where Mario's driving around in that shoe car, like the Karibo car or whatever they're gonna call it.
They finally brought back the best part of Mario Party Advance. Oh man. No, it's definitely interesting to look at, because you have that scene where Mario's driving around in the shoe through the desert, and then there's also the scene where there's like a boat, which looks very Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah,
where they're driving, but they're sailing around the boat, going to different islands, and I think those sections might replace a world map.
Yeah.
So instead of a world map from Sega Star and Color Splash, which is very nice. Instead, you would have these sections where you go to like a bigger area, and then you travel to the different locations within them. That's what it seems like, at least. Yeah, it seems very similar to an idea I had. I can't remember where I was talking about this, or even if it was on, like, recorded. But like an idea I had for a Super Mario Land sequel where every world is like its own island, and you flew from each island in the plane. And this reminds me of that. I almost think like, will the Mushroom Kingdom be its own island, and you actually go from island to island, and you use the boat. So they're not they're kind of level based because they're segregated, but they're actually also open world. I think Shantae
and the Pirate's Curse does that, where every world is technically a Metroidvania, but all the islands are split up by a boat, which in that game is just a menu. But this one, actually, you drive around it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's the vibe I'm getting from that scene. Because you're right, I think that does replace the world map. But I also don't think it's level-based like Color Splash was.
No. At minimum, it's definitely not level-based like Sticker Star was. We know that much.
Yeah.
But Color Splash, at least, they were named different things, and like you could... It was a little bit different, but this definitely feels more like what we've wanted, where it isn't... it is not based in, World 1-1s kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who's to say how many worlds and chapters or whatever will actually be here, but this world looks expansive and really well developed in a bunch of different areas, and I'm very much looking forward to exploring around through it. I wonder how much of it will be explored on Bowser's airship, because wow, Mario's basically working entirely with Bowser's minions on this one.
Yeah. Like, it looks like that scene where all the paper airplanes are flying through the sky. Like battleships and crashing into Bowser's. It reminds me of Final Fantasy VI almost. Like, the halfway point. You're in the airship.
Yeah, I wonder if that's closer to the beginning of the game, or where they might be trying to escape from Peach's Tower, or Peach's Castle, I mean.
Yeah. See, I'm wondering, just from watching the trailer again, I'm feeling like the order of things is Peach's Castle and you rescue Bowser, and then the Shy Guy comes along in its Bowser's clown car, takes you back to Bowser's Castle, which is the second area, and you find out that's been taken over as well.
It looks like you get knocked out of the clown car, though. Like, it looks like they all kind of get launched out of it. And then you see Mario and Olivia looking over Toad Town from afar.
Maybe there's because the way I'm thinking of it is just watching where Bowser is like Bowser's clearly not with you for most of the game. You actually see you seem to be traveling more with Bowser's minions than you do with Bowser.
Yeah.
But like the only two scenes that Mario and Bowser are in are Peach's Castle and Bowser's Castle. So I mean, I would assume maybe you do get knocked out and you have to find Bowser and escape Toad Town, but I feel like you then go to Bowser's Castle and you lose Bowser there. Maybe he gets captured, but you escape with Bowser Jr. and Kamek in the airship, and then that gets shot down because we get the scene with them in the forest with the Chain Chomp, where Mario is clearly with Bowser Jr. and Kamek wandering through the forest. And I wonder if it kind of goes from there on, like you start traveling to each town and you meet whatever specific Bowser minion or Toad needed from each area who joined you.
It reminds me of Bowser's Inside Story with Fawful taking over everything.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, you get to see Bowser's minions panicking over everything because for once they're not the bad ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially since the Bowser minions that we see with this aren't really uniquely designed, but I don't see a problem with that if they're more or less one of a kind. If there's not that many of the generic designs anyway, because the majority of them are going to be origami designs. I don't think that's that bad then.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The only one that seems to be multiple is the Goombas. There's like one screenshot, I think, where basically all the Goombas are like, we've got a bigger enemy to fight, so maybe we shouldn't be fighting each other. And
that's
on the box art, there of all the minions that are behind Mario, the only one that is replicated is the Goomba. Like, there's two Goombas, and then a Bob-Omb, Bowser Jr., Spike, Koopa Trooper, Shy Guy, Toad, and Hammer Bro. Like, so I feel like they're probably all the ones you get, which are all the traditional ones. Although there is that one, because the two partners it seems to highlight the most in this is that one Bob-Omb that looks like he's on his way to becoming a meme, very laid back.
He's probably your first partner because like he's so prominently featured.
Yeah.
But then there's all from other Bob-Ombs too. He doesn't have the fuse that other Bob-Ombs have.
Maybe that's why he's really chilled out.
Yeah, you're right.
That's just it. He's now wandering the world because he can't fulfill his original purpose of blowing up.
But yeah, so like looking at like,
that.
because I think you mentioned it was on like the box art, which is also on like the cover of like, or like the header for the official website. On the side of Mario, we see a Toad, a Goomba, a Shy Guy, the Bob-Omb, Koopa Troopa, Spike, Hammer Bro, and Bowser Jr. And we've also seen screenshots where Kamek is following Mario around like a partner, and Bowser's hobbling along as best as he can in that form. So that might be the whole party roster. Although there's also from, I believe it was from the Japanese trailer footage, there's this, you see it in the normal trailer, in the English trailer as well, I should say. There's like this Explorer Toad that's not quite Captain Toad, but has that kind of air to him. There's a scene in, I think, the Japanese trailer, where it's very short, but in battle, in the desert area, he's there in battle, like next to where Mario would be standing, if Mario wasn't jumping through enemies. So that might be a partner too.
Yeah, because a lot of people are questioning whether the partners do anything in battle or not, because that's the only instance of one we've seen. Yeah. And like, we've seen an English screenshot of the battle system, and what people thought might be summoning the partners, it looks like it's called like the cheer button, which I assume has something to do with the fact that, once again, since like, what, 1000 Year Door, you have people just casually watching the fight. I love background in the stands.
It's like a Greek theater. I love it.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking it's more like a baseball pitch or something.
That's
the way the stands work. But yeah, like, I wonder if that has something to do with that, because they're in the background shouting stuff, and maybe you can get advice. But then there's also a hint button, so I don't know.
Yeah, we should talk more about the battle system. I think that it feels like a lot of people are pessimistic about it and are like, oh, the boots are stickers or whatever.
No, but we don't know that.
I don't think that's the case. It seems like they really did learn from a lot of the older games with this one. You can tell from different elements that they have in the environment too, like in the user interface, like continuing text bubbles now has that star that was in the older games, and it even has the same sound effect too.
It does. I noticed that. That was a really nice touch.
Pretty great. And the save blocks are the same as the old games too, which is pretty interesting. Nice. So they definitely took some notes on the older games, and it looks like this new battle system is like the next step of what the older games were, in my opinion. It feels like a system that has an added layer with the ring thing.
Yeah, that's definitely the most interesting thing. So like, it seems like you fight enemies who can surround you, but you have the ability to move the floor across 4 layers, and you can spin enemies around to line them up. And when you've lined them up, your attack power increases. So you line up like a line of Shy Guys, and you can jump on them like and get all 4 of them. And if you're doing it, consecutively, like, you get a power up. Because I'm wondering, like, if you have 3 lined up and there's a gap in the middle, does that mean the last one is safe, or does Mario just make an extra long jump? Maybe if you have them all connected, then your power, the attack power, goes up.
It might only go to like the end of where you have them in an exact line.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Because you can have multiple. Because it seems like you can literally be like surrounded, and enemies can be on the same plane. So it's about deciding which group of bundle of enemies you fight. But there also looks like there's a time limit or something. Like, you've only got a certain amount of time to spin the wheel, to make the decision before it's locked into place.
Yeah.
And it seems like you can also buy more time, actually have a good reason to use your coins outside of just items. But I'm definitely curious how that'll work as a mechanic in the game. Like, is Olivia just going to transform the battlefield beneath your feet into this weird system for you? Or I'm definitely very curious about how it's explained. I mean,
there's definitely something with the.
Didn't explain it.
True.
That's.
But there's definitely something with the environment, because there's like one screenshot where the background and the floor and stuff is clearly like the paper from it has clearly been ripped out, and you can see like wireframe mesh behind, which seems to be how these worlds are made up. Like, it's all wireframe mesh with a paper overlay, which is kind of terrifying.
How else are you going to make a papercraft world like this?
But I am wondering what the benefits of battle are. So, like, Color Splash, I think that game's really good, and a lot of people sleep on it because they think it's too similar to Sticker Star.
Exactly.
But the only really big issue with that game was the battle system, and that's because it tried to do it fixed some of the issues of Sticker Star, but didn't fix the core issue that there really isn't any points to battling at all.
Yeah.
Like, because you ended up you'd get better cards you'd get cards for fighting, but you'd probably spend better cards to beat the fight. So it was pointless. Basically, you may as well just avoided them. And this one, I'm not sure they haven't shown you getting any EXP or anything. But there's got to be some benefit to fighting, right? It can't literally just be an obstacle, because then players would try and avoid it as much as possible. But it's hard to tell from what we've seen so far whether you do get experience or not. Basically, because what was it in the old game? Flower power, health, and attack,
and BP. Yeah.
Wasn't BP the flower points?
No, the flower points was FP.
Yeah,
FP.
those were the special attacks for using the.
Okay, what was BP then?
BP was for the badge points to be able to equip the different badges.
Oh, badge points, right. I think I heard someone say that badges looked like they were back. I don't know if that's not confirmed, if that's just someone speculating or not.
They could be, because there was that one different kind of jump that Mario used. I think it was the shiny boots or something.
Oh,
that
okay.
Could be a badge, yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at like a bunch of various screenshots. And there seems to be, just judging from your health increase, an idea of
level up.
like an idea of what order
has
you
to
go
be
through.
something.
Because so like in the forest level, at the forest level on like the mountainous area, from screenshots, Mario has 50 health. Then in the desert he has 110 health, and then in the pyramid with the Explorer Toad he has 120 health.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, what decides the increments of its experience points, or once Color Splash, was it progress? Like once you beat a chapter, you got a health increase. I'm trying to remember.
I think that's what it was. I mean, Color Splash also had a slight experience system to level up how much paint the hammer can hold.
Yeah,
but
it was all based on the paint.
But also then there's a scene also in the desert where he's also got 120. So my guess is that the desert area and the Explorer Toad area are probably the same area.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Just from looking
like
at all of this.
Later in the game too, from how much health he has.
Yeah, you got like double. But then there's like a section where he's got 150 health and he's fighting Fire Brothers and Boomerang Brothers. But it looks like he's in a volcano, which I suppose is usually a late game area.
Might be where Bowser's castle could be.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bowser's locked in his castle.
I know Mario starts off with barely, like 10 health, right? I think at the very beginning it showed him with that, so it seems like it could be a pretty long game if experience is based around that, and he goes up to 150 health. I don't know if I've ever reached that much even in the older Paper Mario games.
I found two more. There's another volcano area where he has 120 health. Don't know if it's the same one though. But then there's an area which looks like it's the one where you get the Bob-Omb, because it seems to be autumn themed, and he has 70 health then.
Okay.
Oh.
So we're sort of piecing these all together, from Toad Town to the forest hillside area to the autumn area to the desert to the volcano.
Finding the right order for it all.
Yeah.
Unfolding the plot. I think in recent games Mario actually started with 50. And I think it's because the way they handled the battles with the enemies, they can do more damage to you because there's more of them. So I think you probably start with 50. I think
50 is the start.
I don't think you've seen less than 50 in this.
No, you haven't.
Oh.
I think you start with 50, yeah. But it's how much it increases by. Does it increase by 10 every time? Because I haven't seen it not be a figure of 10.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be increased by 10, or I doubt it'd be increased by 20, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the locations quickly, because I sort of named off when we talked about the desert one, but they're kind of doing an Odyssey thing where every area is seemingly based on somewhere in the real world, because they have that Japan location at one point where you see both inside and outside of it. So you've got you've got the inside area where there's all the ninjas on the ceiling and the thwomp with Kabuki mask on, and then you've got the outside area which looks like a very typical Toei samurai drama town.
Yeah,
like the sort of sandy-ish ground and all the like wooden buildings, the very traditional Japanese style buildings. And then there's one scene where Mario, Olivia, and the Bob-Omb are outside what looks like a ninja school. Like there's a ninja toad. There's like a signpost with a ninja toad throwing shuriken on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm guessing this is the inside area where you fight all the ninja and stuff like this, but...
Seems like it.
It's cool, yeah.
Honestly, I'm just really excited to go to that area with all the snippets. That area in the desert, that
definitely
looks
the coolest
so nice.
area. So do you think, outside of the origami people, so like Olivia and I guess her brother, do you think that the most we're going to see in terms of unique designs is like a Toad in an explorer outfit or a Toad in a ninja outfit?
I think it's possible that we may not see more than that, unfortunately. Because I think if we were going to see something a bit more intricately designed than that, outside of like a very specific character, they would have at least teased them in here outside of the Explorer Toad, which unfortunately isn't even Captain Toad. But I think that also would have gone to the partners. And they don't seem to be. So I think this is definitely a step up from Sigastar and Color Splash's 99% of them are Toads or Shy Guys. Now we're getting a lot more than just that, but it's still
I had a big problem with the Toads where you had like these obviously special Toads like Conductor Toad and Scientist Toad, who are like called Conductor and Scientist, but Conductor is just a green Toad and the Scientist Toad is just a yellow Toad. And it's just like, you could have at least put him in a like scientist outfit. Like the furthest they go is outside of the Power Ranger-esque Toads is the pirate one who has a pirate hat on and a sword. And it's not really that much different beyond that. and in Color Splash was also guilty of, there were so many Shy Guys too. Which is, I love Shy Guys, like great, but both Shy Guys and Toads combined were like 90% of the NPCs in that game. And this one, it definitely seems like there's a bit more, but it definitely seems like it's still kept to the kind of as you know it Mario designs, which isn't bad because there's more of a diversity of them now, it seems. I'm hoping that we'll see the writing kind of balances out with that better. Well, the writing in Color Splash was really good, so I'd be very disappointed if it wasn't as good. But from the beginning, like from what we've seen so far, it already looks pretty good.
Definitely.
And I'm curious what enemies will show up on Mario's side. Like, I'm quite surprised there isn't a Boo, because we have seen a Origami Boo in the trailer. So the fact that there isn't one in your party is quite surprising. But hey, you got Spike in your party, he's like clearly the best Mario character. So
yeah, Spike is pretty great. Bowser Jr. being there is really interesting, I think, too, because I mean, Bowser Jr. really didn't get that much time to shine, considering I think mostly just was Bowser Jr. in Color Splash?
No, just Sticker
Star.
No,
they just use
Sticker Star.
They use the Koopalings for Color Splash, who I'm wondering if they'll return or not. Like, maybe Bowser and the Koopalings all get origami'd.
I really hope if the Koopalings are here, they're not majority of the bosses. I would love to see the Koopalings be the boss you have to fight to save Bowser, and they're all combined into one giant origami thing.
That would be pretty cool. Like, I feel like the only boss we've seen is they had an origami Koopa.
Yeah.
Like, that in the desert temple or whatever, where it, like, rises from the sand.
That was cool,
Yeah. That was pretty cool. If we're getting, like, the Yoshi's Island style giant regular enemies, but this time they're origami'd, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be great.
Looking at, I mean, since we were talking about, like, what things we've seen origami'd, looking at the official website, in the top right corner where they show the Origami King and Peach, we can also see a Fuzzy, a Goomba, the Swoops, a Sniffit, a Charging Chuck, a Boo, and the bony Goombas, like the Goombas that have like the skull heads.
Oh, yeah. It seems like they're really reaching for a lot of different enemy diversity and character. I mean, it seems like they're trying to get a lot of diverse Mario characters. And I mean, they're only using their default designs, but they're using a bunch of different characters to make up for it, it seems like.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Like, if they have to stick to the default designs and only stick to races that existed before, sure, but actually go all out with the references. Like, I think the area that sort of exemplifies that the most is with that random Metroid reference at the end, where a Metroid hat falls on Mario and he just starts imitating Samus. That seems really random, but there's like the Donkey Kong mask next to him.
I can't wait to see more things like that.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if like Retro Studios helped out making this game in some way, and so those two things are just in there randomly as references.
Maybe.
I could see it.
Yeah, but like that makes me really hopeful for what other references to other Mario games outside of the new Super Mario Brothers and the 2D platformer lines we will get.
At least like, Luigi has the Mario Kart.
Like, yeah, we got the Mario Kart. And what happened to Luigi? Has he been papercraft, or did he drive off? You don't see him inside the castle with Mario.
No,
but clearly the scene with him, clearly the scene with Luigi seems to be invited as well, and clearly the scene with him in his car is like before he meets Peach, because Mario's reading the letter.
Origami Luigi boss.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I kind of hope that it's like Thousand Year Door, where throughout the story you'll find Luigi parked up by his car, and he explains about how he's been driving around the world, like avoiding
doing his own adventure.
Yeah, that's what I hope they do with him.
Maybe the common Bowser minions that we don't get, we'll see Luigi has with him, just for the implied adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so good.
I was just gonna say there was one reference too that was pretty far-reaching with the Mario Sunshine. Gooper Blooper, I think that was the name of it.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
That was a pretty cool reference. I wonder if there's going to be more far-reaching ones like that.
I'm really happy to see Gooper Blooper keep coming back as a boss. I think his last appearance, I think it was in Sticker Star.
I think he's in Color Splash. There is definitely a giant squid boss in that game, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to double check this. Like, I feel like they really like him in the Paper Mario series.
Yeah, it might have completely slipped my mind, but there's typically a giant blooper in most Paper Mario games, so seeing Gooper Blooper again makes me happy.
I'm wrong. You're right. It's Sticker Star.
Okay. Something worth talking about that we haven't even touched upon yet is the fact that Paper Mario can now join ARMS. This hold on, what do they call it? The 1,000 fold arms ability to extend your arms to interact with the environment and solve puzzles.
Okay.
What is the deal with this?
I mean, I guess this is what Mario's powers are in this game. He has
like Thousand-Year Doors.
Yeah, like he can use the power of origami on himself.
That's probably thanks to Olivia, but this is still really weird. It's really jarring to see.
Yeah, well, it is really strange, but it also seems like you can only do it on very specific spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was in Thousand Year Door 2.
Okay, well, there.
Yeah, in Thousand Year Door you could fold up into a plane on certain spots, fold up into a boat on others. This one just seems like an extension of that, where you just get foldable arms you can use to tear things off, I guess.
Well, I imagine more of them probably come back, so I wonder if you get back the ability to turn into a paper airplane and a boat. Like a boat to clear small bodies of water and an airplane to glide
Those would be really nice throwbacks to Thousand Year Door, honestly. Because that was the original game to fold you up into origami.
Yeah, that was when they decided paper was important.
Yep. Yeah. The last thing I think that I want to bring up is the music to this sounds just as pleasant as every Paper Mario game soundtrack has been. Even Sticker Star had good music, so I'm happy that it's at least still on par with that.
Yeah, I need to listen to it again more thoroughly to figure out whether or not what the music's like. But I mean, I expect it to have good. Color Splash had a really good soundtrack.
It was really nice,
especially the boss music, like the pirate theme when you fight Wendy, is still like such a bop. With like the pirate shanty chanting in the background and the sort of maracas and all that. It's really good. So if they have good fight boss music like that again, I'm all for it.
Oh, definitely. Especially if the bosses are more unique than just the Koopalings.
Yeah.
That should make for a really fun adventure.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the bosses will be like big enemies. I mean, we've seen the giant Koopa, and you brought up Goopa Bloop, whatever his name is, Goopa Blooper.
Yep.
He is clearly going to be another boss.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is what I'm probably expecting to see in this game. Although there was one thing actually that I'll bring up. It's whether or not things will come back, because things seem to be quite a contentious part of the Mario series.
Yeah.
But there's the one screenshot of like a disco ball inside a pyramid, and there's a bunch of yellow toads with faces cut out and misplaced, which is really creepy.
It's really weird, yeah.
Yeah, like some of them. Oh no, sorry, their faces are literally just cut out. What I'm looking at are the toads behind them, which is strange. But they're all dancing, and it makes me wonder: is that a thing, or is that just something that happens in this room? Because we haven't seen things in fights yet or anything like that. So
seems like it's probably more of a story thing, because it doesn't look like it's in that arena that the other battles are in. But
yeah, no, this one's definitely in outside, because you can see a safe spot in the screenshot.
Oh,
but it's whether things could be used both outside and inside combat.
It also doesn't have that realistic look of a thing, though. It also looks like it's crafted.
That's the other side thing. Yeah, could be. I'm fine with things not coming back.
Oh, I did find another thing I wanted to bring up. We also see in like the trailer, there's like the hint of like some little like mini games. You see where there's like the scene with the boat. You're in like a little canoe with the toad and the Bob-Omb with you, and you see the boat has a health bar.
Yeah.
So
it seems like a mini game.
Yeah, it's like a little mini game, jumping to collect coins, and it's nice to see that they're doing things like that. Just because, you know, little mini games like that are kind of what help make the worlds feel a bit more expansive, in my opinion, and like there's more to do in them.
Yeah, exactly.
I really hope that there's a mini game on Bowser's airship where you have to shoot down those paper airplanes with like cannonballs or something.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I almost wonder if the quest in this game is that you're in Bowser's airship at the start, and everyone gets shot down, and you're going around collecting all the surviving minions or whatever. Like, you know, all the minions are there at the beginning.
Castles.
They all get knocked off and end up in different areas, so you're going around picking them, getting them all up, and then at the end of the game, towards the climax, you're going to have a recurring scene, another one where you're on the airship. And this time you succeed to make it through the squad of flying paper airplanes.
Well, luckily, we don't have to wait that long. This game comes out in exactly 2 months.
Yeah.
It comes out mid-July.
Well, that's so good for everyone who was complaining that there was nothing after Clubhouse games. Seems like June is going to be Clubhouse games and the Smash DLC, because I imagine that's probably still going to come out.
And the Pokemon DLC.
Right. And the Pokemon DLC. So yeah, there's enough stuff there to sort of hold people over.
Yep.
And then this is early July with...
Well, late July. It's the 17th, I think. But
yeah, it's mid-July. Technically, Deadly Premonitions 2 is early July, and Nintendo's really pushing that game, even if I don't think they're publishing it. But they still seem to be hyping it up, so that'll be your early July game.
Yeah,
There's my Deadly Premonitions plug. And then play Paper Mario a week later.
Did you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this one up, then?
I also want to just comment on how all the areas look in the game too. Like walking between the different areas, it looks like they're a lot more open than a lot of the past Paper Mario games were too.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be to the series' benefit, because a lot of the games in the past have been very linear and mostly just straight lines. Even Thousand Year Door was just a lot of straight lines. I think this will really diversify a lot of that, a lot of the environments in the series too. So it's exciting.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, with the fact that they don't quite seem to be, you know, area level based, and they're instead actual locations, that helps a lot.
Right. That too.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up this discussion then. Before we go, I'd like to give a special thanks to all of our patrons. if you like this video, give us a like, and be sure to subscribe. If you want to share your thoughts with us, then leave a comment below, or let us know on Twitter or Discord, which you can find the links to in the description. And always remember to return to the source.